Hello, this is Crohn's Talk, episode 6. Welcome back. And last time we got up to the point where my doctor decided it was time to try a new drug, and we decided to try a biologic and start with Humira. He gave me the choice of whether I wanted Humira or Remicade, and I went with Humira because I could self-inject, number one, and number two, with my job, I was hoping to go back overseas. And I figured it would be easier to self-inject than try to get infusions. So I went with the Humira, and the injections were fine. They can be painful, yes, but they're not bad and just uncomfortable. But there was an immediate effect. My wife noticed that one of the symptoms I've always had is I'm really stiff in the morning and really slow getting going. I need a hot shower to kind of loosen up my joints and get moving. And she noticed an immediate difference that I was able to get out of bed and I wasn't so stiff in the morning. So it really helped with that. It seemed like I had more energy and I was doing well. And so everything was going well. Some insurance issues. They would only allow me to get it through one specific specialty pharmacy, even though my doctor advised against that pharmacy because he's had problems with it in the past. My insurance would only allow that pharmacy, so we did. And in the States it was fine. But then I got transferred overseas, which kind of created a bit of a mess. And the specialty pharmacy had an antiquated website. They were hard to deal with. There was one point where I got the Humira card, so the supplemental, which was great, but that specialty pharmacy screwed up. They told me I didn't owe them for 1 month because that extra card kicked in, but it hadn't. So I kept getting this bill, and I kept having to call them, and I'd say, why am I getting this bill? And they'd look up my account and say, oh no, you don't owe anything. That was a mistake. Don't worry about it. So I wouldn't worry about it. And then I'd get the same bill the next month, and I'd call them again, and it went over and over. And finally, I get this letter from a debt collector saying this specialty pharmacy has submitted this to us to collect. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've called them multiple times and they've told me I don't owe anything. It's a mistake. So I tell the debt collector that it's a mistake and I'm going to work it out with the pharmacy, and they said fine, you have so many days or whatever. So I start going back and forth with the pharmacy, and I'm in a different country, and so the time difference is crazy. And also their website, they have a messaging, but you have to have a US IP address in order to log into their messaging system. So I had to VPN in just to log into their system so I could send them messages. It was just totally antiquated, ridiculous system. And went back and forth, I had to provide proof of the dates and times I'd called, and just finally it turned out that I really did owe the money, but they had put it in their system wrong. So every time I called, the customer service rep was bringing up my account and it was showing zero, even though there was a debt owing. So anyway, in the end, they forgave the debt, just said we'll eat it because we didn't do it properly, and it was just a major headache. In the meantime, medically, I started getting sick again. Wasn't feeling hot. Energy went back down. Stiffness came back. And then I started getting this joint pain. And it was weird. So I want to talk more about the joint pain next, because there's more to it than just a few seconds. But the Humira basically worked for maybe 6 months. And then it seemed to stop. So we'll go more into what happened when the Humira stopped working in the next episode. Please subscribe, check out my other videos, and share with your friends, especially if you know someone who is suffering from Crohn's, or you are and you want to let them hear someone else's perspective. And let me know in the comments what you think, if there's anything that you want me to discuss, or if you've had an experience you want to share. And I will see you next time on Crohn's Talk.